Hello, I'm back. Thank you so much. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Again, I say happy New Year to you. Happy 2026 to everyone. I know we have loads of religion here, but I'd like to just say a quick thank you to the Almighty God for preserving and keeping everyone to see the new year. And I pray that everyone who's seen the new year would see the end of the year. So thank you and happy new year again to everybody. Thank you for joining and God bless you. As you have joined, you would, you will see the fruits of this training in Jesus' precious name. Amen. I say a happy new year once again to everyone. And we have kicked off and it's web. Welcome everybody. 2026 is the first training of the year from AfriTeach, and I am so glad to be here. Thank you. As I go on, I'd like to say I acknowledge and I see you, people on YouTube. We're currently streaming on YouTube. So if you have if you have people who seem to struggle with the network on Zoom, you can just tell them to join via YouTube. The link is in the chat box. Mr. Francis, if you're here, you can just help me. I posted it, but you can help me to just keep reposting and share to all of our groups and people can join. I see you people on YouTube currently there. I see you and I say welcome to you. Thank you for joining and we appreciate you so much. Thank you so for joining. I would like to ask that you put in the chat box. Oh, there's a French person in here already. Where are you joining from? I would like to know where you are joining from. If you can just put that in the chat box quickly. Where are you joining from? On what device, if you so will? How did you come to hear about the training? Where are you joining from? I hope my volume is loud enough. Delta State, Lagos State, Abuja. So we have a lot of Nigerians. Akwa Ibom State, Abadie, Zoom Igbobi, Ikorodu, Nasarawa. This is good. A tablet. Thank you so much. Lagos State, Igbobi. Yes, I see a lot of Igbobi people here. Lagos State, Idioko. That's nice. Thank you for responding. Oxbridge, Lekki, Oyo. What? Somebody's from India? Wow. Please, Donor, Joseph, can you put in the chat box how you got to hear about the training? Thank you for joining all the way from India and also what the time is in India. Thank you. Someone from Rwanda, about the training from Facebook. Thank you. So we have Rwanda, we have Lagos, we have Abuja, Enugu, to the school platform. Thank you all. India, yeah, I see that. India again. Oh my God. We have, that's 3 people from India. Wow. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining from Instagram. Thank you. Thank you. Kenya, it's 12:06 p.m. Thank you. So there's Rwanda, there's Kenya, there's India, there's Liberia. Wow, this is really, really, really AfriTeach, and this is the main reason for AfriTeach is South Africa. Thank you. It's basically all across Africa. Thank you so much, Rwanda, Kenya, Liberia. I see all of you. South Africa, I see all of you. India, I'm surprised. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. One more thing I'd like to say, if you can pause on it, okay, African Mission Global, just pause. I'd like to ask a question. I'm joining via Zoom. So I'd like to ask this question. Can you type Happy New Year? Okay. I recently had a man with, okay. All right. I see that. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. So Texas, USA. Someone is from USA too. Thank you so much for joining. No, this is not what I want to say. I wanted to say you should type Happy New Year in your dialect, in your language, on your dialect. I know some people would probably type in French, some people would type in Swahili, some people would type in Tagana. I think Akwodun. Okay, if I murder your language, I'm so sorry. Wola Odototo. Ah, my God, wow, this is good. Akwalaja Odun. Hmm. Ẹkú ọdún tuntun. Okay, this is a lot of Yoruba. Johi Mori. I'm so sorry if I murder all of these. Okay, that's French. I see that. Thank you all. Wow, this is good. Oh, someone could type in Arabic. Muhammad in Arabic. That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ede Urobo. Okay, thank you all. Thank you so much for this. This is so beautiful. I've seen a lot of languages. I think the only one I can recognize is French and Yoruba. Okay, I don't know what Mamu Opapopo. What is that? Is that a Ugandan language or Rwanda? Afo Ohoro Oma. Okay, I'm so sorry if I don't pronounce it or say it right. But this is good. Thank you all for joining. I would also like to encourage you to send to your colleagues, your friends, let them know that we have begun. We can do much, much better with the numbers. We can do much, much better with the numbers. So please encourage your colleagues, encourage your friends that we've kicked off, and the training has begun. The training has begun. I would like to welcome everyone once again on behalf of the CEO and the co-founders. I would like to welcome you all and say that the CEO, Dr. Kehinde Nwani, and the co-founders, whom you might know to be Professor Folashade, who is the first female vice chancellor of Unilag, and Mr. Otto Orandam, who is the founder Slum to School. They did something exceedingly great just some weeks ago, setting up this huge school somewhere that lacked any form of education whatsoever. I'd like to say welcome to you all and to say that the main reason why they have set this up is the passion for teachers. Their passion for teachers is rated second to none. So I'd like to say welcome on behalf of them. They are passionate to see that teachers are given their due flowers. They are passionate to see that teachers get the due recognition that they so deserve. They are passionate to see that teachers are recognized as professionals that they really are. The professionals that we think that everybody is, the doctors, the pilots and engineers and all of that, they were all taught by teachers. There will be no other form of profession without a teacher. So I'd like you to also give yourself the flowers, to put the claps in yourself and say thank you to the CEO and the co-founders, and thank you to yourself for being educators and taking the mantle to lead and to guide our future generation. It's a great job. I salute you and I thank you all for what you guys do. It is not easy, but we see you every time. And just as Dr. Wani would always say, and I say it to you this new year, thank you for your service. We see you, we appreciate you, and God bless you. Thank you for your service. Thank you all. I also like to tell you that this day you are getting 2 trainings actually, not just one, not just classroom management, which will be facilitated by our able, fun, intelligent Mr. John Ofeswa on classroom management. We would also have another one, which will be surprisingly, she has taken us, on some trainings before or anchored programs before, but be taken by the CEO and co-founder of AfriTeach, Dr. Kane Wani, on communities of practice. I'm so eager to learn more about that. Thank you. Yes, I see the flowers in the chat box. Thank you all. Thank you to yourself, and I welcome you all to this training. And yeah, and so that's it. Miss Epeyon is here, I believe. Yes, Miss Epeyon is here, and so she would, just take over. Miss Epeyon, it's over to you. Thank you for joining once again.
Mr. Bayami, please enable her audio and video.
Yeah, she can do it. She's a co-host.
And all right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Bayami. Good day, everybody, and a happy new year to you all. I'm so excited to be here this day. Wow, what a beautiful day. My name is Rita Ikpeyon, and I'm the Executive Director of AfriTeach. And on behalf of AfriTeach and TTN, Return for Transformational Teachers Network, with TTN, I welcome you all warmly to today's web event. Now, I guess some of you may be wondering, what's web all about? Well, for us, it's an acronym we have coined for welcome everybody. Web is something we do at the start of every year. And we do this specifically for teachers to prepare you for the new term. All right. So the whole initiative is about learning, it's about collaborating, it's about developing practical improvements, which is why I'm so excited to see the numbers right now. We're hitting 456. I know more are still joining the link. Thank you so much. I am truly delighted to see all of you here. It shows how intentional you are about improving your practice, about getting better, and in fact, being the best version of yourselves. And so, just like Mr. Bayami said, and like we're used to saying in both AfriTeach and AfriTTN, thank you, teachers, for your service. Thank you so much. I'm putting my hands together for you here. All right. Now, at this point, I'm going to be welcoming our first facilitator for today, who goes by the name Mr. John Ofeswa. Mr. John Ofeswa is a seasoned educationist with over 20 years of teaching experience. Mr. John, like Mr. Bayami said earlier, will be taking us through the session on classroom management. Please join me as we make welcome Mr. Ofeswa. Can I see the claps in the chat room?
Good morning.
Yes. Mr. Ofeswa, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sure the energy level is high. My name is John, just like Mr. Kweyong just explained, and it is so interesting for me to start off the year with my co-educators. No better way to start. Iron sharpening iron. That's how I call it. Iron sharpening iron. So today, what we're going to be talking about is classroom management. It's something that is not new to you guys. We all have been doing this. We've been there, done that, But today we also want to do what? Sharpen one another. We want to get better with our craft. So without wasting our time, I'm just going to go straight into presenting. Abami, let me know if people can see my presentation.
Yes, I believe they can. I can.
You can. I like
Yes.
that. All right. Okay. So it's game time. It's game time. Classroom management, what does it mean? How do we apply it? How have I been applying it before? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Why am I getting this result? Those are the things we will be discussing. And first, I want to start by saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I know Mr. Bayomi already said that. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. It's going to be a wonderful year for each and every one of us, both within Nigeria, outside Nigeria, wherever it is you're connecting from. It's going to be a wonderful year filled with so much for the children and yourself. Okay, so quickly, the training objective for today is to develop the knowledge. Teachers will develop the knowledge, skills, and professional awareness required to effectively manage themselves, students' behavior, classroom resources, learning environment, and instructional time to promote positive, well-structured classroom. Everybody here is an awesome. You're all awesome teachers and awesome educators, and I must say so. Okay, but there is always a space, that little room, okay, for us to get better. And that is what we're going to be doing today. Okay. And then at the end of the training, teachers should be able to, one, explain the key components of effective classroom management, demonstrate increased self-awareness by identifying personal classroom management strengths and triggers. Triggers. Should I make you laugh? Just as you have gone for your holiday to rest, refine yourself, did some training, the children as well, they've also learned one or two things to distract the class. They call it fun. They call it play. We call it distraction. So they've learned new things. They've got new ideas. So it's only good that we're starting like this. Okay. And then the third thing there is to apply practical strategies for managing learning behavior through the use of clear expectations. What do you want to see from them? Okay. What do you want from them? What are you expecting? Also using positive reinforcement. Design simple classroom routines and procedures, which is where you have the biggest conflict, sharing their plans, their intentions, identify and plan for effective use of human and physical resources. Educators, they choke at this area. You don't want somebody else to help you. It's all about collaboration. So we'll be talking about that, and then evaluate the impact of the physical and social emotional. Give me a minute. I have something. Okay, good. Promoting positive behavior and minimize disruption or disruptive behavior. Identifying the plans for effective use of human and physical resources. I said that already. Evaluate the impact of the physical and social emotional environment on learning and learners' behavior and engagement. And then so much more. And then the final thing there is the implementing time management strategies. This is key. When you work with time, then it's easier for you to get the children at that pace at which you're moving. All right, if you're ready to dive into this, just say, yes, I'm ready to dive into it. Put on your goggles, put on your flickers, get ready to swim through this training. I am going to be swimming with you. All right, quickly, let's start. I don't know how many of us, thank you, I can see all of us. Yes, I am. Lillian, I can see you. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. I like the active class. To show you that I'm ready for this, let's just take off the suit and let's dive straight into it. What do you think? Okay, it's real. Okay, I'm going to be talking to my colleagues, so it's real. This movie came out a couple of years back. It's called Coach Carter. Coach Carter is, for me, it's a practical example of effective classroom management. So Coach Carter got into a new school. This is a summary of the movie. He got into a new school and was supposed to head the basketball team. Now, before he got in, he was already a disciplined person, time conscious, focused, empathetic. He had all those qualities already. If you watch Coach Carter, signify by raising up your hand. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat area. I've watched it. Thank you. Mimi do. Thank you. Thank you. I see people that have watched it. Now, what he brought into the team, thank you. I see the thumbs up. What he brought on the team was just awesome. He brought order, he brought conformity, and he brought rules. So what he did, the first day he came, he set out the rules, and he also took the rules, the players, he took their own feedback. We'll be discussing all this later. Another thing he said immediately was what? Guidelines, barriers, boundaries, immediately. He said all this. He also realigned the children to what the goal was. Okay, the goal is for you to get into a sound university, either by scholarship or by your GPA, by your performance in class. He made this very clear. Then he went ahead to do something really special. He paid attention to the most challenging students in class. This student was constantly going out, not coming in, was hanging out with the wrong crew. The day he gave him a sanction, every other person sat up, strike the head, the body was scattered. So he paid attention to the most challenging student in class and he got them. All the students got into wonderful university. A good percentage of them got scholarship, including his own son. And the whole story is just beautiful. If you've not watched it, I encourage you, go and watch it. There you will see the clear demonstration of classroom management. Okay, so let's dive into it. Quickly, wherever you are, you can type in the chat area quickly. What is your own definition of classroom management? What does classroom management mean to you? What does it stand for? Is classroom management me coming to the class and shouting? Is classroom management is classroom management, for those of us that are online and those of us on the YouTube link, well done. Thank you very much for connecting. We see you. We appreciate you. Just hang in there. Hang in there. Let's do this swim together. So what does it mean to you? Taking charge of your class. Thank you, Juliet. I see you. Taking charge of your class. Putting your class in order. I like that. Charge, order. I've seen two keywords there. It's coming in really fast. It means taking charge of your classroom, being able to achieve the objectives. Beautiful, Oluwaseun, thank you. Classroom, making your classroom lively, creating an environment, proper coordination. I'm seeing wonderful feedback. Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask somebody to just unmute and read this, what we have on the slide. Can somebody, anybody, or should I just pick? Let me just pick someone. Glory, unmute.
I can read
Somebody,
it. The participants are not enabled to unmute. So I can read it, Mr. Professor.
Abayomi, please go on. Thank you.
Okay. What is classroom management? It's creating an environment that supports learning, manages behavior, routines, space, and relationships, as well as encouraging positive students' engagement. You can share your definition in the chat area.
Thank you very much. And I can see people sharing a lot. I can see Chinonye, Noah, thank you, working with the students to achieve the required goals, make the class to be the position. These are wonderful feedback. Thank you, teachers. So we do know, that's the point I'm trying to make. We do know and understand what classroom management is. Okay, so the next phase will now be what? Why do we need classroom management skills? Why? Why is it necessary? Why should we be able to manage our class? Isn't our job just to come into the class and teach? I used to have that mentality long ago. Hey, my job here is to just come and teach you guys and I'm out of here. If you make noise, I don't care. If you distract, I don't care. Don't worry, I'm just going to teach you and leave. And then I can, even after that lesson, go out and say, man, I taught that class well. It's a mindset. It's a wrong mindset. So why do we need classroom management? So I'm going to just display this quickly. One is to maximize learning time. Maximize learning time. Two, build respect and trust. The more you can manage your class, the more you come across as the authority in that class, a relatable authority. Don't forget, the more you can reduce the disruptive behavior by the pre-planning. Remember, classroom management is a proactive initiative. It's a proactive action. It doesn't happen in class. In class, they would have taken it away from you, including in infant school, kindergarten. They will take it away for you if you don't have a structure in place. One, also, it's to support academics and emotional growth. Students perform better because you're paying attention to them. They're also paying attention to you. Okay? I see that quality and quantity learning. Thank you very much. Okay? Reduces risk and accidents. Why? Because you're considering the learning environment, both indoors learning and outdoor learning. You're considering that. You're putting things in place to ensure children are safe. Okay? Encourages engagement, definitely, because you're getting everyone involved. Everybody in your class, every child matters in that class, and you've planned for each and every one of them. And then most importantly, builds teacher-student relationships. Now, for me, That is the go-getter. You can't teach or change. Like I said in the last training we had, you cannot teach until you can reach. If you can't reach, you can't teach. For you to reach, you must initiate a relationship. Now, reaching is not in the classroom alone. Teachers, I'll say that again. Reaching can't necessarily happen in the classroom. Reaching happens even before the classroom. When you see them on the corridor, when you give them a high five or a low five or a shoulder bump, when you see them and you're greeting them or you're, paying attention to them, that's where it starts. And we're going to be talking more about that. So the next thing is what? The how. Why do we need classroom management skills? Okay, how? How do we go about it? How do we go about classroom management skills? So we're going to start with these main areas. We're going to pay attention to these main areas. One, what are the things that we'll be managing? One, we'll be managing ourselves. Two, we'll be managing behavior. Our behavior, the behavior of the student, the same one we call behavior for learning. We'll be managing resources, both human resources and physical resources. Four, we'll be managing the environment, both our physical environment and social emotional environment, how they feel, the emotion they carry at the time they're in your classroom. And then finally, we'll be managing time. Now, these are the 5 cardinal areas we're going to be focusing on, areas for us to manage. Managing of self, managing behavior, managing resources, managing environment, and of course, managing time. We're good to go. Let's go. So the first one says managing self. Let's meet you before you step into the classroom. Who are you before you even step into the classroom? What personalities do you have? So in the chat area, we want to meet everybody now, no lying. So I'm going to say this as a promise for everybody. Nobody's going to lie, but we're going to be very truthful and tell us about yourself. Type in the chat area 3 top personality traits that you have. Your time starts now. So I'm watching out for the 3 top personality traits that you have. It tells me who's going into the classroom. It tells me who is going to be stepping into the classroom, who's going to be talking to the children. Honesty, organized. I see wonderful feedbacks already. People are enthusiasm. Adekunle, cool, calm, and collected. My person. Warm, patient. I love that. I love that. Resilience. I like that. Being friendly. I like that. I like that. Patience. You're calm. Humor. Humor is very key. Very key. You don't force it, but it's key. Friendly. I pay attention. Organized, kind, reachable. That's a beautiful word. Reachable, honest, open, fair. I like this. I like this. Good morning, Dr. Kenny Dewani. I'm proactive. I'm humorous. Oh, beautiful. So I like the feedback that we're getting. Okay, but quickly, let me just introduce you to Coach Ken Carter. Now, by the way, the movie is a reproduction of a real life story. Okay, now these are some of the values he had even before he stepped into the classroom. Ken Carter was disciplined, he was focused, he was empathetic, he was time conscious, he was supportive, he was goal oriented. He had all this as values before he stepped into the classroom. His work ethics was top notch. He had that. So it was easy for him to take that into the classroom. Now, if you've got nothing to present, there's nothing you're taking into the classroom, automatically classroom management becomes a bit difficult. It becomes quite difficult. I'm telling you as a person, because I've been there. If there's nothing in the vessel you're taking into the classroom, then there's nothing you're going to present to the children. There's nothing that is attractive to the children. Somebody's asking what's the title of the movie. The title of the movie is Coach Carter. It's Coach Carter. So we're going to start from the top. The first thing you're going to take is your presence, your appearance. As teachers, come in looking dapper. For those of you who work with children, you know what this means. You must have that child in you. You must come in looking good, well-dressed, smell well. Everything you present must be an attraction to the children. That's the first thing. You must look dapper. You see me using their words. You must look dapper. And notice this, the moment you come into the class and you're well-dressed, you smell nice, hair combed or brushed, they will come up to you, Mrs. Tricia, I love the way you're dressed. Mr. Kinibos, I like the way, this is wonderful. And automatically you gain them, you draw them in. So look good, smell well. 2, confident posture. Do not slouch when you teach. upright, chin up, square shoulders. It says confidence. It says I'm ready. It says I know what I am doing. Teacher leadership mindset. You do not step into the classroom with a victim's mentality. You must go in there like I am in charge. I am the potter, they are the clay, and I'm going to mold them into what I want them to be. Teacher leadership mindset. You take charge, you lead every activity, you control how it is done, you facilitate it. Mastery of the subject area, very key. You must show that you are a guru. You must show them. Student pupils gravitate towards teachers who know their onions. They relate better with them. They will do anything for them. Control clear voice. You can't just keep it monotonous. You can't just be one straight tone throughout. No, you learn to pitch bend. You learn to maneuver when you're talking to the children. Go high, come low, go mild, top, pitch, punch. You must be able to do all that. Non-verbal cues. Well done. Well done. Peace. No, no, no. They must know it. In infant school, in kindergarten, this is extremely, extremely well used. Okay? No, 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 don't do that. And you see the teachers go to their height. Don't do that. Don't touch that. No, no, no. And then they tell you, don't go in that direction. So very key is non-verbal cues. Okay? Eye contact. Growing up, my mom just has to look at you once, and everything about your life will reset. That's all she has to do. She just looks at you, and the spirit will tell you what she's trying to tell you. And it worked. It worked. We all turned, and I'm sure it's the same story for a lot of us. They didn't need to, tell us, like you wanted something to eat at a friend's place, and she didn't want you to eat it. All she had to do was look. Mm-hmm. You get the message. The rest is left to you. And if you go ahead and you still eat, she'll meet you at home. The contact is just telling you everything that you need to know. All right. So I've also put there the walk. Also, teachers must be ready to walk in between the children in the classroom. It shows contact. It shows connection. Don't just stand in front of the class throughout. Connect with them by walking through the classroom. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is self-care and regulation. So self-care and regulation. Your emotional awareness has to be top-notch as an educator, as a teacher, before you step in. Recognize and understand your own feelings. How do you feel? Even before you step into the class. Okay? Ensure that you're not reactive, you're not impulsive. You're proactive. You've considered everything in that class before you go in. Stress management. Implement strategies like mindfulness exercise. So before I step into the class, I just excite myself. I excite myself. I don't want to go in there grumpy, because it's going to trigger them doing the wrong thing. It's going to trigger them doing the wrong thing. So I excite myself. I calm myself down. I excite myself. I just look into wonderful things that gets me excited. The third thing there is professional boundaries. Always set clear boundaries between work and personal life. It is important. Work and personal life. Okay, they are both two different aspects that you must attend to them, but you must set the boundaries. This will prevent burnout. You can't be doing excessive work, school work, and all that while you're supposed to be resting. This is one of the things that my CEO where I work, she's constantly pushing. Learn to balance it out. And then colleague support. A lot of times we do not do this. Okay, temptation and all those things, all those distractions comes when you're alone. But when you have people to talk to, you've got mentors, you've got coaches, you've got colleagues that you can talk to, it goes a long way. So colleague support, lean on professional support. Now, after my training, you're going to be going through another awesome training, community of practice. It's an elaborate version of this leaning on professional network, where you can draw strength, where you can refresh, where you can refine. It is important. It is important. And then the last thing there is work-life balance, which we've talked about already. Take care of yourself, teachers, before you step into the classroom. I'm going to run through this, the 4 classroom management styles. I'm going to run through them quickly. So you've got 4 different quadrants here. Quadrant 1 is authoritarian. Quadrant 2 is authoritative. Quadrant 3 is permissive. And quadrant 4 is indulgent. Okay? Where we want teachers to work is quadrant 2. I'll quickly explain them. Now, quadrant 1 is high control from teacher, is what we went through as young students in our day. Okay, those of us that fall in between that age of say 40, 50, even 30. Okay, you went through this. Authoritarian. The teacher comes into the class, is Lord and God Almighty. You shut up. You don't say anything. You don't move. Even when you know it, you don't say it until he calls you. You don't necessarily raise up your hand. So it's hostile, there's coercion, there's psychological control. More or less, it feels like the warden and prisoners. Okay? But there's high control. But what you have there is that there is what? Low involvement from the student. So learning won't take place. In quadrant 2, where you have authoritative or authority, where you have the controlling but fair approach, the receptive to student needs. This provides positive feedback. Students can talk, they can deliberate, they are calm, they are relaxed, there's a connection. It has high control from the teacher, but also has high involvement from the student. So there's academic progress, there's classroom control, because they know they need to listen to you. They know they need to follow the guidelines that you've all agreed on. Then you have permissive. Permissive is low control and then low involvement, meaning the teacher feels helpless. He feels, I can't do this. And I've seen this in some schools. I can't do anything. Their shouting is just going, is just talking. So there's low control. There's no check on habit. There's no check on behavior, nothing like that. Students are disengaged. They're not interested. Even the teacher is not interested, but it's just in class. It's going to teach what is on the lesson plan, and that's all. We don't want that. We also do not want indulgent. That's quadrant 4, where you prioritize relationship, where there's difficulty saying no to children. Can I go to the toilet, mom? Yes. Can I do this? Yes. Can I get my pencil? Yes. Can I get up? You're more or less like the yes man. Now, that has low control and high involvement, because the student, the pupils see through you. They know you're not in charge. So automatically, they become in charge. Even in infant school, if you don't have anything structured out for the children, it's playtime. Children come this way, line up here. No, they will scatter. I've seen it. They will take laws into their hands. It's just normal. So when you have high involvement in the negative and low control, it's indulging. Permissive, we don't want. What we want is where teachers are able to work under the what? Authoritative, high control. The teacher presence is there. They can feel you there. They see what you're bringing. They get what you're doing, and the students are also engaged. They are responding. They are reacting. It's firm and friendly. The feedback is positive. Learning takes place. Classroom is under control. So this is where we're going to be paying attention. Teachers, we work with this, okay? This is what we're going to be working with. Now, the first thing we talked about is what? Managing self. We're done with managing self, okay? If you've got anything, if you gain anything from that first point, just write in the chat area, I understand. I understand. I need to feel your energy as educators. You're all here with me, so I must constantly know if you're here. Beautiful. Thank you. So you are the most important part of the puzzle. The moment you step into the class looking all dap, well-dressed, smelling nice, exceptional knowledge of your subject area, ability to relate with the children, setting your authority right from the get-go. The children know they can relate with you. Come on, they will fall in because they want that. They like what they see. Why do you think they will like their superstars, their musicians? Because they come in dressed the way they want. I'm not saying you should go and dress that way. Don't. You can't even come to school dressed like you can't come to school dressed like that. But hey, let's pick cues from them. Remember, we're not teaching them alone. Musicians are teaching them. Movie makers are teaching them. But you see, the movie makers and musicians are making better. They are making better outcome. Because the children, the average student can learn the lyrics of their song by just sitting down. So we need to bring something. Let's bring something. Have you ever wondered how you can have a concert and with someone holding the mic, they say, okay, everybody, they all keep quiet. There's a call and you're looking at thousands of people at a concert and they keep quiet and listen. They sing back when the person singing tells them to. Have you ever wondered? And then we handle a class of maybe 20, 25. So it is presence. The first thing we're dealing with is presence. The second thing is what? We're managing behavior. The knowledge of the learners is key. The knowledge of the learners is key. You cannot teach, adjust, redirect what you know nothing about. Do you know about their age and developmental stages? Have you got any historical data about them? How did they perform in the last session? How have they been performing? What do they know about this topic? Have you spoken with teachers concerning the student? Tell me about Richard. I do that a lot. I step back, I go back to the previous class. Tell me about this student. What do you know? What do you know about this student? Tell me how you've been able to work with him. What do you know about their cultural and social background? They are not all in your classroom. All the students can't all come from your country or come from your state or speak the same language. So what do you know about their social background or cultural background? Because it guides what you say. It guides the examples you give. It guides the suggestions you give. Once upon a time, I was discussing about gender and I was making reference to the male gender. All the girls in the class just froze up. And I noticed that had happened. So I had to step back and I asked, okay, ladies, tell me, what do you think? The moment I said that, they went straight into the fact that I was giving a lot of kudos to the guys and I let them out. Yes, you must learn to step back. You must know your learners. You must understand them. Okay, learning needs. It's been shown and it's been proven that a large percentage of classroom disruptions will come from these learning needs: ADHD, ADD, or ODD. Because naturally, you say it's attention deficit, so it means they're not going to pay attention. Do you know the students that fall into this category in the class you're teaching? Do you know the students that are hyperactive in the class you're teaching? Do you know the students that are oppositional? No matter what they say, they're going to stand toe to toe. This will happen more in the secondary school. It happens in primary school even now. And they will question everything you're going to say. They will contend against policies. They will contend against rules and regulations day in, day out. So if you don't know them, how do you want to control them? How do you want to manage them? Do you understand the classroom dynamics? You know those that belong to certain groups. Do you know those that belong to this group or belong to that clique? And you know the benefits or the down point, the south effect of those cliques. Are they getting benefit from it? So you maintain the group. Is it going to lead into trouble? So for the benefit of this training, I'm going to be using the name Richard as my very strong student. When I say strong, you know what I mean. Meaning the one that will distract the class. If Richard sits with John, does he perform better? Or is that when you get more noise? When you know this, you check it. You check it. Who are the students that are vulnerable in the class? Do you know them? Do you know any student in the class that has just been bereaved? Do you know any student in the class that is going through a divorce, that the parents are going through a divorce, and hence is affecting them emotionally? Hence, it's going to affect the way they react in class to peers and to the lesson. Are we aware of this? These are the things we do when we have the knowledge of the learner. And the moment we step in and we know that, it begins to affect how we deal with them. I know how to deal with Richard. I know how to deal with Jane. I know how to deal with Ade. I know how to deal with John. I know how to deal with them because I know them. Now, knowing them doesn't stop in the classroom. You must know them outside the classroom. Now, the reality is this: you can't correct them until you connect with them. Connection before correction. I got this from a friend of mine. Learn their names. I still see teachers go into the class, even in infant school, in juniors, in primary school and secondary, and you still don't know the names of the student, but even by second term. That's not too encouraging. Learn their name, call them by name. There's a confidence it brings. Learn it quickly. Learn it at the beginning of the term. Okay? And even when you say it wrongly, it doesn't matter. Apologize. Oh, did I pronounce your name wrongly? Okay, tell me how I should pronounce it. I learned this from one of my leaders. She's always saying, tell me how to pronounce your name. It connects with them. It connects with them. Okay, show authentic interest. Show them that you're really interested in them. Okay, practice active listening. Now, this is where we have a bit of a default. A lot of us do not necessarily listen to them because we already have what we want to tell them. But listen to them. Have you noticed any situation? In a lot of the situation, the first thing the child will say is what? You're not listening to me. Let's listen to them. And you can practice it. Be patient, listen to what they have to say before you give them the feedback you have for them. So practice active listening. Recognize individual strength. What do they do the best? Is it singing, dancing? Is it academics? Recognize their strength. In the subjects, recognize it. In their co-curricular, recognize their strength and bring it into the class. I do that a lot. I used to have a student who was top swimmer. He was a top swimmer in my school. And each time I'm using him and I'm telling him, Come, you guys need to see the focus and the diligence that Justin puts into his training. Out of school, he's going for training, he's going outside. Do you know how it makes him feel? It makes him feel very confident. You see his body posture, his stature will change, even in the classroom. So recognize their individual strength and then always create opportunity for success. Are we still here? If you're still here, just type, I'm still here. Okay, we're still on the second point, teacher-student relationship. Teacher-student relationship. This is key. This is key. Know their story. We talked about that already. Talk to them. Teachers, let's talk to them. Even the ones in the kindergarten, infant school, talk to them. Hello, junior. How are you today? Ask how they are feeling. You're creating a relationship. The next time he sees you, he's just going to walk up to you. They do it a lot, and they're ready for the high five that you would normally give. That's a connection. So talk to them. Talk to them on the corridors. Say hi. Say good morning. Good afternoon. You say it. It doesn't take anything away from you. Even though we're teaching them to be respectful, we model it. Hello, Junior. How are you? Hello, Richard. You know, Richard is our the disturbing student, but I still greet Richard. I still relate with Richard. I play with Richard. Hey, Richard, what's up? Are you going to play football? Okay, I'll come and watch you guys play. Be authentic. Play with them. Attend their presentations. Teachers, let's not get too busy that we can't see. Be their cheerleader. They are playing football and it's your voice that they are hearing. Let them look back and say, oh, that's Mrs. Flora cheering me up. Oh, it paints a different picture. It strengthens the relationship. Teach like a pro. Now, in primary school and in secondary school, a lot of the students will gravitate towards you more, especially in the senior primary and secondary. They'll gravitate towards you more when they know you know. They've seen it. You're a pro teacher. You come into the class. So, for instance, where I work, my math teachers are super. My English teachers are awesome. So students naturally just gravitate towards them. Because they don't just teach. When they're teaching, they're telling you things like, okay, this is how we're going to solve this, but let me teach you another way to do it. So when you get into their classroom, order, silence, communication, collaboration taking place. So teach like a pro, teach life. That's another key thing. Don't just teach the scheme, teach life, teach empathy, teach care, teach love, teach respect while you're teaching. Tell a story. The children enjoy story. If you've noticed, when you're teaching and you go into a story, they just narrow down. They want to hear it. They want to hear your experience, what you've gone through. The last thing there says, value them more than the lesson. Yes, value them more than the lesson. If there's a need to stop to ask about the welfare, please do that. If there's a wish to stop and ask, do you need to go to the medics? Do you need to go to the healing bay or the sick bay? Stop. Let them have that feeling. Let them have that feeling. The moment they feel that you value them, then they begin to tune better towards you. Remember, don't forget, they do not want to know, they don't care how much you know until they know that you care. If that is not established, then there's going to be a problem. All right, so we're moving to the next thing under the second point is what? Setting clear expectation. Establish class rules together. That's important from the get-go. It's a new year. Start it now. Start it early. One thing I do the moment we get into class, I'm going to tell them this year, this is what we're going to do. This year, this is what we're going to be achieving. I started from the beginning. The best of the best teachers do it. They started from the beginning. So tell me some of the things. So I'll tell you a story. I teach an SS senior class. So one of the beginning of a term, I now ask them, guys, tell me what I can do better to make learning better in class. One of the first things they told me, this was about, say, 10, 11 years ago. One of the things they told me was that, Mr. John, we need you to get to class on time. Whew. I covered my face. I'm like, oh my God. So I said, okay, what else? Now, don't do this if you're not ready to take the feedback. Remember, self-awareness is key. They told me other things, and I promised them there and there. I said, I will work on this. And the moment I started working on it, guess who came to tell me, oh, Mr. John, you're coming to class very early now. And guess what that did? They got to class early. They got ready early. So share the expectation. Share the target. This is where we're heading to. Clear boundaries. Don't forget, clear boundaries, okay? Remember, a lot of things will still go into this: safeguarding, child protection. So set clear boundaries. Okay. Use simple, age-appropriate language. It doesn't have to be complex. Simple. Let them understand it. And where they don't understand it, be quick to explain it. Reinforce what? Expectation and consistency. John, remember what I said? We agreed that we won't talk when somebody else is talking. Reinforce it. Say it again. Just like we do with staff, reinforce the vision, reinforce the mission, reinforce the policy. We do the same thing with the children. Okay. And then sanctions and reward. John, I noticed you didn't finish your work. You're going to be spending 30 minutes with me after school so that you can finish immediately, so that others also learn from it. The same thing with reward. It is coming out immediately. So let's set our expectations clear from the beginning. Classroom routines and procedures. This is also key. If you're going to build relationship, entry routine. I totally love. I learned from one of my leaders and mentors about this 1 minute rule. The 1 minute rule just says the first 1 minute that you step into the classroom, there's an engagement. There's an engagement. The moment students understand it, they prepare for the engagement. So once upon a time, I went into a classroom and the teacher projected a lion hugging a woman. I know a lot of us would have seen that picture. It came out, say, around 5-6 years ago. A lion hugging a woman. So, and that was the picture on the board. So the moment the children came in, they were like, what is this? They were curious. They were asking questions, and even me, myself, I was scared because I'm like, okay, a lion, child, what is happening here? So immediately they started asking questions. Mr. Why is the lion hugging the woman? Is the woman not afraid of the lion? Is the woman not scared? Oh, that means the woman must have trained the lion. They started giving the feedback to the picture. 1 minute. I've gone into other classes where the moment they come in the first minute, there's an activity. If you come to my school, my maths teachers, the first minute you're getting into class, the first minute, there's an engagement. There's a task. There's a task. So students know that I must be ready. Positive affirmation. This is also very good. Positive affirmation is very good. I will follow the rules and regulation. I will be attentive. I will contribute. Just structure it with the children and let them recite it. You can equally refer to it while you're teaching. Transitions between activities, you must make it clear. Transitions. Now, for some schools, students stay in class for their lessons all through. For some schools, there's a carousel system where they move from one point to another. Okay. I think there's a message here. Okay, I can't really see the message, Abby. Sorry, I can't really see it. So that I don't take time, let me just continue. All right, so transition between activities. Okay, we're finished with this. Children in primary school, let them come. Let's put our tables together. We're going into a group activity. Introduce each activity and what you want for the transition process. Okay, expectations for student contribution. Children, if you want to give me your answers, everybody, let's use our whiteboard. Let's use AFL tools. Use your whiteboard and give me the answer. Or you ask a question, everybody show me with a thumbs up. You understood my concept, you understood what I just taught, or you slightly understand, or you don't understand. You're getting immediate feedback. Manage the class. Manage the expectation. Let's gradually move away from Isa. We are all of us here, we're a generation of Isa. Isa. And then the people that don't even know the answer will raise up their hand. A lot of times teachers don't call them. But if you know Richard is there, please call Richard. Please call Richard. So sitting location and sitting arrangement is also part of classroom routine and procedures. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about, still under this, because remember, you can't teach them until you reach them. You can't reach them until you create an atmosphere where you can relate with them. Managing disruptive behavior. Yes, no matter what is happening, no matter how bad it looks, stay calm. Okay? I tell teachers, just put a smile on your face. You see, the students know what to do to trigger you from primary school upwards. Yeah, they know. They know exactly what to say to get you pissed off. They know how to say it. They know how to pass the baton to another person to say it. I've seen it. Okay? So you must stay calm. That is why the first thing we discussed was what? Managing self. Managing self. So stay calm, smile. Now, for smiling, I encourage teachers to smile. Smile always, no matter how it looks, smile. But once the situation on ground demands that you express physically that you do not appreciate it, don't smile. Don't smile. Okay? You don't need to, John, I don't appreciate what you just did. Yeah, you made Cynthia feel bad. Let the face show it. Okay? It's not the child, it's the action. So we address the behavior and not the child. I don't like how you made him feel. You should be considerate about how she feels or how he feels. Next time, I won't appreciate it. I'm going to be seeing you after the class. Then you can go back to a smile. Okay? But learn how to move in between the smile and not smile. Checkmate the leader of the pack. I told you about Coach Carter. He dealt with the lead person that was distracting the class. The moment you can checkmate the lead person, every other person comes fall into order. Okay? I see people asking questions about what about the parents. We will get to the parents. Don't worry. So support teachers and facilitators. It's not all schools that would use facilitators. So in the school where I teach, I have facilitators. Okay? You can use them to also manage behaviors or sit with the trigger. I call them the trigger students, okay? Checkmate the leaders, support teachers to help you where necessary, use consequences fairly, okay? And engage concerned student productively. So Richard, you're going to help me share out the notebooks quickly. You're going to do that in 2 minutes. Notice the things that I've done. I've asked him to do something and I've also given him a time. Richard naturally is active, is hyperactive. So him doing that is also engaging him. I won't do that if I don't know Richard. It's going to affect my classes. It's going to affect my lesson. So engage them productively. You can come up with a very creative way of engaging them. Okay? You can come up with a best way of making sure that they are engaged and they're doing what they're supposed to do, knowing that they could flip your class at any time. Celebrating positive behavior. Yes, not everybody in your class is distracting. There's children that are, complying, they're following instructions, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. Okay? Praise, use of praise is very good. Well done. I appreciate you. I totally like what you just did. Thumbs up. Okay? For effort and then for improvement. Celebrate effort. Teachers, let's celebrate effort. It is important. It will boost confidence. Use rewards carefully and meaningfully. Don't just keep using rewards. Use it carefully and meaningfully so that others can also learn from it and they want that reward. You know how children just cleave to house point and stickers? Use it. It goes a long way in keeping your class calm. Okay, everybody in row 1, row 2, you all get 2 points because you've been very well behaved. You've been contributing. Yes. Now, that doesn't mean that all the children in all the schools where we teach will gear towards it. No, you'll have schools where they don't. There will be other things that would connect them, that would reach them. But most importantly, we celebrate them. Okay, we use star charts. Star charts are pictures. In primary school, they love star charts. In secondary school, they love star charts. Don't be deceived. They love it. Half of the things you see those ones do in primary school, the seniors like it too. But you see, they are older, so they don't want to fall into that category. They don't want to see you doing that, but they like it too. So, star chart, picture of the week, picture of the month, picture of the day. Okay, celebrate them, spotlight them. Oh, everybody, can you just put your hands together for Rachel? Rachel, you've been in this lesson, you did this. Janet, Bosse, and the rest, you also did. But you see, Rachel, you came out strong. I like the way you gave the feedback. Now, the person you're giving this feedback to must be someone you're also looking for a way to bring them out of their shell and encourage their action. It keeps your your classroom calm and collected. Now, while you're doing this, others are ready to also do the same thing because they want you to praise them. Now, the big deal is this: announce it, take it to the assembly, take Rachel to the assembly, take the action to the head of school, to your line manager to be celebrated. Talk about it. Still talk about it on the corridor. It goes a long way in reinforcing the action and the behavior. The third thing here, we're moving to the third one. We've done the first one, which is managing self. The second one, managing behavior. The third one here is managing resources. You've got human resources, and then you've got physical resources. So we're going to be talking about the human resources. I'll just list them out so that we don't waste much time on this. Human resources. Somebody says, I need a clarification on the use of token. We're going to address that question. Please make sure you have your question in the chat. We will address all your questions. And I'm really sure I can beat my chest on AfriTeach will always reach back to all the questions that you're asking. So human resources, teachers, collaboration, use the teacher. Oh, I'm going into this class. I will need to do what? Ask another teacher to support me in this class. Yes. But when you ask them to support you, what are they going to be doing? Establish their roles clearly. Establish what they're going to be doing. Mr. James, I need you to pay attention to the students at the back, especially John, James, and Richard. I need you to help me monitor that they're finishing their task, they're engaging with the lesson, establish the role. Okay? Push for student leadership. Part of your resources. Like I said, Richard, you're going to help me share out the books. I see this a lot in infant school, in kindergarten. Okay, share your plate. And then if you've taken the time to study the Asian schools, this is one of the things that they pay attention to at a very young age. Serving others, leadership. The children set out their plate. They set out their table mat. It is beautiful. So student leadership is another way you can ensure you're managing resources. You're managing the students in your class. So Richard is doing something, Joy is doing something else, and Alfred is doing something else. Now, it doesn't mean that every time it's them you continually use. You use others so that everybody in class feels among. Parents partnership. Whatever it is you're doing, get the parents involved. They're a very strong source of form of resources. Mom, Dad, I'm going to need him to do ABCD. I need you to also support me in doing ABCD. Okay, they are very key aspects of classroom management. Now, how many of us have noticed that you're telling a child in class, I'm going to report you to your dad and your mom, and they sit up? Now, listen, you've got students that do not care if you say you're going to report them to their parents. Yeah, they don't. But it doesn't stop you from still using it as a pointer. It doesn't stop you from using it as a pointer. Okay? And then you've got professional support. That's from your Senko, your counselor, your school leadership. So where I work, we have a system where teachers can call during the class. If you're facing any form of friction, call and one of the leaders, because we stay on the corridors. We are all there to support 24/7. So we stay on the corridors, ready to support any teacher, and then we just walk into the class and just douse the situation. So, and that's managing human resources. What about physical resources? Learning materials, learning resources, are they accessible? Where they're accessible, are they labeled so that the children can even access them? And then, are you purposefully using technology? A lot of our schools have whiteboards. Some schools do not have whiteboards. Some schools just have their board. Some teachers come into the class using pictures and sorry for that. Okay, purposeful use of technology, resources, readiness and preparation, classroom organization, those are key aspects. Label the items. It also pushed for safety. Label the items, sharp items here, pencils here, erasers here. Children know where to go to. When you make it accessible and you say, everybody grab your pencil, everybody grab your markers, they know where to go to. And remember, we're still doing student leadership. The person going to get them will also know where to go to. Your class is being delayed where, oh, I'm coming, let me share this, and you're the one sharing it out, you're taking time. Notice the children we teach now do not have the patience for a lot of time wasting. No, get to the point, get it out of the way. Equitable access, like I said already, ensuring all learners can use resources without conflict or complications. Okay, the fourth point is what? Managing our environment. The classroom is the environment. Don't forget, your classroom looks like you. Your classroom is it's an image of you. So physical environment, how do you manage it? How do you manage the classroom furniture? What kind of arrangement? How do you set it up? Are there classroom furnitures in the class that could injure the children? Have you moved it out or is still in there? And then it now creates the chaos and you can't do anything. It's affecting your lesson. Manage the classroom furniture. Intentional sitting arrangement. Is your sitting arrangement deliberate? For the students in my class, when I was the form tutor, I would constantly change the sitting dynamics, the sitting arrangement, almost twice to 3 times in a term. And then when the children come, they're always looking forward to it. Oh, we've changed it again. Look at this. It creates that buzz in your class. But one, safety is considered. Hygiene and cleanliness. Is your classroom clean? Is it neat? Remember, your classroom looks like you. If you're not a clean and neat individual, you will be comfortable teaching in a dirty classroom. A dirty classroom is a recipe for what? Distraction. It means they can drop their litters on the floor in your classroom. It means they can litter, they can do anything. They don't know how to drop things in the dustbin. They don't know how to keep their tables and chairs aligned. These are things we teach them. These are things we enforce. Visual displays and learning aids. Classroom displays. You come into a classroom, you already have displays. Beautiful. If there are no classroom displays, come in with yours. It could be handmade. We're in the era of AI. Ask for things to be displayed. Print them out. Print them out. Just hold them up. Print enough that will go round. Okay, so visual displays are key. What about voice? You guys have your phones. Record voices. You're telling a story in primary school, record the voice the way it should come out. Play it in class. Create excitement. So you're managing environment. Okay, child protection and safeguarding. I talked about that earlier. We must continually emphasize this. Ensure that the children are safe in that environment. We can only teach children when they are safe and sound and alive. Okay, so safety is key. Safety is key. Then access to the toilet or school clinic, you must manage those environments. When can they go? How many people can go at a time? Those are the things you need to consider. They have social and emotional. There's so much to learn. Okay, I'm going to try and just wrap up in a couple of minutes. One, psychological safety. Okay, now at the top of this, you've got the social and emotional learning. Have you taught the kids how to be self-aware? Okay, have you taught them how to make reasonable decisions? Have you taught them how to be society, environment aware? Have you taught them how to relate with people? If you've not taught them, don't expect it in your classroom. Okay, so psychological safety is creating a safe where learners feel respected. They can talk, they can hear their voice. Okay, that's still the environment. That's still the environment you're maintaining. Positive relationship, build trust through empathy. We've talked about this already. Inclusivity, ensure all learners feel a sense of belonging. Students that are on the SEND spectrum, students that have challenges, students that are vulnerable, everyone is involved. So I do something in my school when we're trying to teach like a video content or carry out an activity. We also use our SEN students. Yes, they have the right to be a part of it. Okay, so inclusivity is key. But if you don't teach inclusion in class, if you don't let them understand the benefits and the need for inclusion, students won't do it. You can tell they'll pick on one another. They'll pick on students when they give answers. And you don't want that. So we teach inclusivity. Emotional literacy, teachers teaching learners to recognize and manage their own emotion. That comes under SEL, like I said earlier. High expectation with support. Don't be average with what you're expecting from them. High expectation. They can do it. They can achieve it. Okay? Both in academics, in co-curricular activities, whatever it is that they're doing. High expectation, and set it out from the beginning. Whatever it is you want them to do, you must model it. Okay, so you model respect and kindness. Okay, what you want them to do, you must practice it and refer to it the moment you're doing it. This just talks about the inclusion that we talked about already. The DEI approach, is it being practiced in your classroom? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Do you respect diverse background? People come from different backgrounds. Does your resources and your teaching style, does it respect that? Are you conscious of people's background? Are you fair in your learning, in your teaching? You know, do the students feel that you're fair in your teaching? Because there's a difference between you being fair and them feeling that you're fair. Are you delivering quality first teaching such that it covers everyone? Is your lesson showing support for your SEND students and then your EAL, English as an additional language student? What provision are you making for them? Are you paying attention to them? Okay. And then the last thing there I said, engage the distractors. Yes, the Richards in your class, engage them. Engage them. Include them. Remember, yes, they are stubborn, they're disturbing, but who speaks for them? A lot of times nobody speaks for them because of the way we've tagged them. So engage them even during lessons and appreciate them when they give the right answer. The fifth and the last one is what? Managing time. Managing time. Okay? This helps with instructional efficiency and flow. Clear lesson structure. This comes with your planning of your lesson plan. Give a time structure to everything you're doing, from your starter to your engage, to your activate, to your plenary, to your demonstrate. Everything you're going to do, put a time to it and stick to your time. 2, arrive early. Teachers, arrive in class early. Your presence means a lot. It sends a message to the children. I arrive early. I'm expecting you to arrive early too. For schools where you have students moving around. But for schools where you have students waiting for you, arrive early. Okay? Efficient transition. They must be able to move from one lesson, from one activity into another effortlessly. But it must be facilitated by you. Everything works with time. What about time on the task? Now, I've noticed where teachers go into the class, you ask the student the question, even before they give you the answer, you've moved on to the next person. No, give them thinking time. Give them thinking time. What we want is for them to succeed. If they succeed and we praise them and we encourage them, the classroom stays the way we want it. The classroom stays the way we want it, okay? Remember, we are the potter, they are the clay. We mold them. Prioritization, pay attention to those things that are important. The aspect of your lesson that is extremely important, we can't dilly-dally on things that are less important. So humor is good, play is good, but are they core to the lesson? No. So you pay attention to what you're about to deliver, the group activity, the assessment, we pay attention to that. We pay attention to self and peer evaluation, okay? Use of routines. We've talked about that. Hands up if I want to go to the bathroom, use of corridor pass, toilet pass. Stick with a routine, okay? You guys ensure that you use the bathroom before I come into the class. I only allow one person go to the bathroom at a time. It's called routine. Use it very well, okay? Flexibility. We must practice this as facilitators and educators. We must be flexible. So I'm teaching, a child doesn't understand, it doesn't take away from you. A step back. It's just one step back, okay? You're not going to waste time. You're just going to go exactly to the area where they have the challenge. We must be flexible. Now, flexibility also extends into when they give feedback and it's not the right answer. Yes, it may not be correct, but it doesn't make it wrong because it's coming from a point of view. What we need to redirect and realign is their point of view. So stay flexible in class, but stick to your time. Come into the class on time, arrive early, follow the 1 minute rule where there's an engagement immediately you come into the class and they are settled, they need to follow it. There's so much. All right. We're supposed to have 2 role plays, but I'm just going to take us through one. Let's run through one quickly. And I'm going to need somebody. Let's run through this second one. Let's run through this one, actually, because it's just going to take us typing in the chat area what our feedback is. So a student refuses to follow instructions. Her name is Joy, by the way. If there's any Joy in the house, I'm sorry, it's not you. All right. A student refuses to follow instructions. Joy insists on not changing location despite your efforts to ensure intentional seating arrangement. She actually said she doesn't care what you do. Type in the chat area, 3 steps. Now, for this role play, I want us to flash back into the things we've been discussing. Managing behavior, managing resources, managing the environment, managing time. I need you to flash back into the things we've been discussing and type 3 steps to take in this situation. Your time starts now. I'm just going to give 1 minute for this, and I'm going to try and read out your feedback as you post in the chat area. 3 steps. Even if it's 1 step that you want to suggest, let's go. Let's have the 1 step, and I'll keep reading them out as we go on. What do we do? Joy has insisted that she's not going to change her location, and to make it even worse, she's telling you she doesn't care what you do. Remember, that's what they do, especially with the hand thing. For those of us that teach in secondary school, you know what I'm talking about, or the higher primary. I'm not interested. I'm not going to do what you have said. Finish. What do you do? Somebody said I will ask why. I will be patient. Thank you. Smile and remain. Someone said I'll smile and remain calm. Relate with the students friendly. I like that. Find out the learners. Okay. Do not show any anger. I like that. I remain calm and silent. Learn why she does not want to change. You see, that's listening. That is listening. Thank you. Thank you. I'm liking the feedback. I see the connection. I see the connection. Good. Well done. For those of us on the YouTube Connect, please, I need to see what you're doing too. Thank you. Thank you. I'll invite the person and then ask why. Okay. Understand the reason for the behavior. There's an odd problem. Good. 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 I will step back. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All these feedbacks are wonderful. They are wonderful. They are wonderful. So notice it's going to lead into a conflict. Have you noticed that? This scenario is going to lead into a conflict because if I'm coming in with my own emotions and all, I'm going to counter immediately. What do you mean? Am I the one talking to you and you don't have any respect? Yes, I'm going to go into that if I'm reactive. But if I'm proactive, I would have known that this won't be Joyce's first time of doing this. It's a behavior. It's something she would have done before and I would have seen. So my planning for the class, my relationship with the student, all those things come into play. Now, if she stays this and she's insisting, I can escalate. I can escalate. I can call in leadership. I can call in my line manager, someone higher across the cadre to also lend their voice or act out. So a lot of times when I do this and I see this happening in the classroom, I extract the child so that others can learn. When the child is calm, when the child is settled, I can bring the child back. So always be willing to call for help. I like that. Somebody said persuade the person. Not bad. Not bad. Share the reason why it's important. I like that. I like the feedback. But I've given us two scenarios. The relationship with the child, knowing the learner, it just tells me that this teacher did not know Joy from the beginning. Because why is it going to happen now and you're shocked? You must have a plan for Joy. It's Joy. She's been doing it. She's been doing it in different ways. You've known. Okay. Now, if I put that into place and it's not working, I escalate. I ask my line manager, I ask my head of school, I ask my principal or somebody to also step in. You know, there are different ways to go about it, but I must nip it in the bud so that it doesn't create other distraction for other learners. Now, what have we been discussing? The summary of today's lesson is this. One, for nursery, EYFS and the rest, routines, key. It is important. They excel with routine. Classroom is in order with routine. I've seen them do things like pack up, everybody, pack up. And you see the children, they start packing up their toys and they're cleaning up. So routine. Visuals, they enjoy visuals. They enjoy pictures. They enjoy puppeteering. Praise and reward, come on. Well done, John. And you must mean it too. Don't just say, well done, John, and your face is strong. No. Okay? Well done, John, with a smile. Okay? In primary school, consistency is what works for them. Consistency and engagement. You see, in primary and infant school, especially the junior primary, the children will gravitate towards you with very little effort. It's the reason why they get home and they tell their parents, my teacher said, you are Lord over their parents. Yeah, it's whatever you say that is the rule. So they'll gravitate towards you a bit more. So engagement, when they come to you, what are you engaging them with? Engagement, respect, and dialogue. Now, the respect and dialogue is for the senior primary. We've come to notice that in senior primary, when we talk and we relate and we communicate with them, it brings out a better outcome when it comes to classroom management. And for secondary school, respect, come on, guys, respect. Respect them. They will respect you. Okay? Dialogue, communicate with them, talk to them. In talking to them, listen to them. And then make them accountability. How? Make them accountable. How do you make them accountable when you've not set down the guidelines, which is part of what we discussed? So when we set out the guidelines, we make them accountable based on the things we both agree that we will do as a class. Praise and reward works for everyone. Praise and reward works for everyone in the classroom. All right, we're done. A quick reflective practice. Type in the chat area 3 things, or write it down. Write it down in your jotters. 3 things, 3 key areas that jumped at you for this training, and then 2 aspects you will start practicing, and then 1 mind changing. 1 mindset change. 1 mindset you will change about classroom management. Just those 3 things, and then we are done. You guys have been fabulous. You've been awesome. I can't wait to hear the feedback when you step back into the classroom. And believe me, if you think what we've discussed is interesting, wait for the next training. wait for the you can't miss out on it, because it's where we go to get strength. It's where we go to get sharpened, to get better. Okay, and that is what my CEO will be discussing, Dr. Kende Mwani. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you for the feedback. I see your feedback. I see your appreciation. I'm going to take just one question. Remember, I said all the questions that have been posted in the chat area, we will be addressing them. So I'm just going to take one question so that I can give enough room for the next facilitation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I do appreciate you all too. Thank you. Abby, is there any, do you want to read out at least one question so that we can just address one question and then we can move on? Thank you, Makamba. I see you. Well done.
Oh yes, I'm waiting to see a question. Just one question from the chat. Something that is really
Thank you so much, Mr. Ofeswa. Can you
Thank
hear me?
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Kanyang, I can.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ofeswa. What an enlightening session that was. And I'm sure we'll be leaving, we'll have a lot to put into practice come Monday, by God's grace, for those of us who will be resuming on that day or next week or whenever. All right. Can I see your claps in the chat room? Can we have some more claps? Can we say some lovely things to Mr. Ofeswa?
Thank you.
Well done,
much.
Mr. Ofeswa. I can see them. Thank you so much for the session. Beautiful. Mr. Ofeswa, that was really good. Now, at this point, Mr. Samuel, please, do you want to start sharing the slide, please? Thank you very much. Do you want to share the slides that you have with you? Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. Well done, Mr. Ofeswa. Thank you. I can see the comments coming in. Lots of claps.
Thank you very much.
Well done, and thank you. A very big thank you to those of you online, those on YouTube, those joining on YouTube. Thank you so much as well. Thank you very much. You can type your comments as well. Thank you. Yeah, I can see all of them. Well done, Mr. Ofeswa. As this is going on, can Mr. Samuel please share the slides, please? The next slide. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. Thank you, sir. A job well done. Great, as usual. As usual. I don't know if Mr. Samuel can hear me. Mr. Samuel, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm trying to open your slide. Please, can you resend it? It's not
okay.
open.
Sorry about that. Okay, while Mr. Samuel is still working on that, can I just have someone say, I know you've spoken about Mr. Ofeswa, but can someone please, or can we all, as many as possible, just type in the chat room one thing, one special thing you're going to plan to use, intentionally plan. I know you said you'll start doing things differently, but which one thing will you intentionally plan, maybe to incorporate in your lesson plan? Many of us are planning for next term, just so, I love that. Someone says, I'll start listening to the kids more. Beautiful. The 1 minute rule, brilliant. Can we have them coming in, please? The 1 minute rule, thank you.
Time management, 1 minute rule. Great.
Yeah.
You can't be the yes man. Thank you, Olaiton.
Beautiful, exactly. You can't be the yes man. Time management, brilliant. Yeah. Prepare more. Prepare more. We cannot do without preparing and preparing properly and at the right time too. Use of star charts. Ever so effective. Children love to be celebrated, and that's exactly what star charts do for them. All right, we have. I intend to adopt. There's so many comments coming in quick succession. I'm trying to catch up, listen more to the children, time and proper preparation. Emotional awareness, beautiful. Emotional awareness. Using stickers, doing background checks, lovely. Doing background checks. The authoritative classroom management style, role play, giving awards. I tend to engage more make
Ekpenyong,
more
please, could you
efforts
start?
to
Could
reach
you
the
start?
students.
Ms. Ekpenyong,
Mr.
please start.
Samuel, do you still have challenges trying to share the slide? Otherwise, I could just call on the next facilitator.
It's up.
It's up already. Oh, sorry, I can't see it from. Let me check. All right, the AfriTeach Institute. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. The next slide, please. Thank you. And I'm sure what it's all about. Now, this is our staggering reality as a continent. Just look at the numbers there. I mean, it says it all. Teacher shortage, a major problem we're facing right now. Poor teaching infrastructures, underqualified teachers, teacher attrition. Even with the fact that we've got shortage of teachers, we're still facing attrition as well. Digital divide and inadequate mental health support. I'm going to go through this very quickly. Can I have the next slide, please? All right, so this is what it shows us now. The median age. Now we're comparing our demographic with the rest of the world. In that median age, average in Africa is 19.7 years. In Europe, it's 42 years. And then and in the world, globally, it's actually 30 years. Now, what's the reality facing us? We have ours the continent of energetic learners, while the rest of the world is facing a continent of aging populations. We have a continent of very energetic learners, with 60% under the age of 25, while in the rest of the world, in Europe and in the rest of the world, they're facing a declining youth population. That says a lot. So for every 10 people you see in Africa, 4 are still in the primary school or early secondary school. And what does that tell us? That Africa's future is being decided in the classrooms. And what's the challenge for us? With all of this, with the population that we have, what sort of learning is going on in the classroom? How are we carrying learners along? How are we preparing them for the future? Do we still have a lot of rote learning going on? Your guess is as good as mine. The AfriTeach Institute, and that's what leads us to the AfriTeach Institute, trains teachers to become facilitators of learning, and I'll be talking to you more about that, and learners in their craft, and so much more. And for us at AfriTeach, which is a Pan-African organization, we aim to build an Africa where every teacher is a leader, every classroom a hub of innovation. Can they do things in creative ways? Can they learn new things in new ways and not the same way over and over, year in, year out?
2 minutes.
And where every learner attains their highest potential.
Honestly. 2 minutes,
And
Ms.
so for us, the
Ekpenyong.
AfriTeach Institute, as members, and I must say to everyone here, you actually are all part of that institute, because as members of our professional learning community, you're not just in a WhatsApp group, you're in a living network of educators across Africa. We meet in real time. We share information. You get access to what's coming up, what we're doing. You get access to free trainings and webinars like the one we're having today. So you get to get information firsthand. And together we solve problems. We share resources. We share things that affect us generally as teachers within the continent. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, however, we have been very deliberate to create pathways for you to move. So you're not just going to remain, it's not just about being inspirational and just inspiring you, no, but we want to see you move up as well. So we've created some pathways bring members of the professional learning communities, which our next facilitator, Dr. Kaindewani, is going to speak about at length. You can move on to becoming associate members, and here your development becomes more structured, and there's so much available for you as benefits here. You have the official AfriTeach IDN badge, access to consecutive expert-led trainings. You can join the AfriTeach members you will join the AfriTeach members directory. You receive mentorship from senior educators, and you enjoy discounted programs. And of course, you begin with a professional profile. Okay, and the next one. Now, from becoming an associate member, you can then move up to becoming a certified member. and where your impact becomes truly visible. Now, at this stage, educators are not just learning, they are leading. We expect you to have grown. So you earn an AfriTeach professional certificate. You get recognition across Africa's educator network. You mentor others. We expect you to do that. You access leadership, research, assess opportunities. There's so much we have in store for you. And of course, and then we also have finally the Pan-African Fellowship. Now, this is not just a title, it's a responsibility. And here you'll be entitled to completion of fully sponsored 12-month Pan-African Fellowship program. There'll be trainings for you all around the year, and it's all free. Now it's for, and I must say it's quite competitive, but you can get when it gets to this level. And it's for educators who have proven impact. We need to take that in. Should have proven impact, influence, and commitment to Africa's future. It's not just about you and your classroom. We want to see you influence, impact. That's why we've created this community. And you will receive continental recognitions as one of the benefits, advanced leadership and executive mentoring, opportunities to shape policy and practice, and seed funding and
Mr. Akpenyong, are you there?
Can you tell Mr. Akpenyong to please wrap up? That's
okay.
fine.
All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Akpenyong. We'll just Dr. Wani's bio. We probably will send this to
no. Just put it in the chat in the
chat. Yes, ma'am. So Dr. Wani's bio will be in the chat, and we hand over to our prestigious, intelligent, thank you, a leader of leaders. Thank you so much, Dr. Wani. Let me see the claps in the chat box. Let me see the clap in the chat box. Let's go. Thank you, Dr. Wani. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We appreciate you. We have our biros, we have our notebooks. We are ready to learn. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I'm wondering if you can see my slide.
Yes, we can, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, wherever we're joining from. We have people from India, everywhere, the USA. Wow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are. I want us to just start by appreciating ourselves. I like to say, as John mentioned, thank you for your service. Teachers, thank you for your service. I'm so proud of us as teachers. I'd like to also appreciate Mr. John, in whom I'm well pleased. Can I see in the chat? I want to see the claps. Can I see claps going up? Yeah, are we clapping for him? Can you hear me, everybody? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can, Dr. Wani.
All right. So well done, Mr. John. Without further ado, because of time, we had so much packed into this because it's our welcome everybody day, and we just wanted to, just equip you. So just relax, get your cup of tea, coffee, whatever, and let's just have a nice time together. So we have talked about classroom management, and it was just so beautiful, very practical. I like the fact that he used a lot of his own experience and stories. Now, we're going to be looking at something that I'm very passionate about. Anybody that knows me knows that. Dr. Wani will talk about COPs. It's something that you would see how what John has said and how this can be very relevant to you ensuring that everything you learn today becomes practical. So, COPs, communities of practice. That's the topic, and we're going to look at not just in theory, we're not looking at just the theory of it. We're actually looking at how COPs will drive measurable improvement in teaching practice and in students' learning. Isn't that why we're here? I'm sure you're not just here to hear John's stories. You really want to know, how can this translate into what I do in my classroom? How did I fall in love with communities of practice? Years ago, after starting Meadowhall, I have always loved learning. I'm someone who just loves to learn. When I, joined education, because I started my career as a lawyer, but then when I changed my career and, came into education, I decided I didn't want to run my school as a lawyer or as an entrepreneur, just as an entrepreneur. So I went back to school. So I kept learning and learning and learning. Now, it was also at the turn of the century when we were moving from teacher-centered classrooms, as John has mentioned with classroom management, to more student-centered classrooms. I would send my teachers, they will go for courses abroad in Nigeria. Everybody will say, thank you, Mrs. Wani, thank you. We learned so much. It was so good. Lo and behold, you get to school, you go and observe lessons. I realized that less than 30% of what was learned would you find in the classroom. They learned so much, but how would they transfer the learning into what they were doing? That was where the challenge was. So a lot of schools actually invest a lot, significant time, energy, finances. We invest a lot in training, which is very important. We need to train. It's garbage in, garbage out. If you cannot train, if you don't train your leaders, what are they going to do in the classroom? But we train a lot. We invest a lot in trainings. People will attend workshops, we discuss strategies. But what then happens most of the time is that follow-up is unclear. Classroom impact is inconsistent. That is even if it happens at all. You will realize that there is a gap. That's what I realized. There was a gap between what they learned in the workshop and what was happening in the workplace. How would you move the learning from that training? How would you move it into the classroom? And that was how I discovered communities of practice. How, I think Ms. Ekman mentioned it, how do you take everything we've discussed today and take it into the classroom on Monday when we resume? How does that happen? My sisters and brothers, that's it. That was can you please maybe move it up? That's what I realized. So during my master's program, I realized this was what my dissertation was about. Communities of practice. What are communities of practice? This thing that is the missing link from what we learn in trainings, what we know, and making it practical in the classroom in such a way that it actually improves our teaching practice and students' learning. How do we achieve it? Communities of practice. So what are communities of practice? It's something that's so beautiful to me. And I'm sure if you really listen, you would see how easy. And you know what? I'm sure that some of us are already practicing it. But a lot of the difference is that we practice something like it. Because if it's not giving us the result that they're supposed to, they're not communities of practice. They're just committees and conversations and maybe gossiping at the end of the day, about students in your classroom. They're not, if it's not leading to improvement of students' learning. So what really, if I really want to practice communities of practice properly, what really are they? A community of practice is simply a group of teachers. Keyword group. They meet how often? Regularly. So it is not meeting today, very informal, 3 weeks time, another 6 weeks. No. A group of teachers who meet regularly to learn together. And when they're meeting, they're trying new strategies in their classrooms. And they use what? Evidence to improve students' learning. That is what communities of practice are. Now, a COP, we can say, is a professional learning that turns into real classroom change. You remember I said it, that was the problem I saw in my school. People will learn in the workshop, they go to the trainings and all, but they were not able to translate that learning to bring about change of their practice in the classroom, which should improve the students' learning. So a COP, if I wanted to simplify it, is really professional learning that can transform the classroom. That is what they are. COPs create an environment where teachers, they're continuously growing. They're supporting each other. They don't have to rely on whatever the training outfit or company is to come every time. You still need trainings, but they are not reliant on that. Schools are not reliant on every week you must have a trainer coming. You do not even need to have your heads there every time, because teachers as professionals, I'm an advocate for that. That teachers must take ownership. They are professionals. They must be treated as professionals. Now, if you're a professional, why are you waiting for your head teacher? Excuse me, one disturbing me. You know, why are they waiting for their head teacher to come and solve the problem? Dr. Wani, what are we to do? Oh, Mr. Babisoye, Mrs. Forceful, what are we to do? No, professionals take charge. And that's what COPs do. They create an environment where you're not waiting for external people, you're not waiting for your leaders, you are looking at issues in your classroom and you take charge. COPs, when we look at it, it's not just something that is school-based. It's every school must have school-based COPs. That's what we have done. That is, I'm not coming here to train you or talk to you about something that I read. It is something that fixed an issue that we had in our school 15, 20 years ago. Now, not only do COPs help you in the school, guess what? It helps you across schools. That is what we do with AfriTeach. It helps you across nations, districts, clusters. If you have public schools, for example, clusters of schools in that area, you can have COPs. It helps you across your state, across a whole nation, across a continent. That is what AfriTeach is about. Let us, for being part of AfriTeach, if you haven't joined AfriTeach, I'm sorry for you. COPs help not just within the school, it helps across the school. That is why COPs, for me as a school leader, as a school owner, COPs they're just the solution. And for you as teachers in the classroom, understanding that improvement of students' learning lies with you. You better be excited, not just about learning concepts, but about how to ensure that what you learned translates into the classroom, improve practice that improves students' learning. If I wanted to simplify this, we're Africans, and I want to believe that in Africa, we all understand this well. It is like just going to that well. That's that we call it that metaphor for COPs. You are drawing from that well. You are drawing from ideas from people, from insights that people have. You are drawing, you are sharing ideas. And what do? You use it and improve your students' learning. If you're a teacher or a school owner or a school leader, and the end game for you is not the improvement of your students' learning, honestly, you're in the wrong career. You're in the wrong career. Now, let us then look at the objective for today. I want us, by the time we're done, you must all, that is my desire, I want to equip you as educators and school leaders with a very clear understanding of what COPs really mean. You know, I talk to people and say, oh, yeah, we do subject meetings. That's not COPs. It's not. What really are they? And how do they actually help, create this professional learning that can translate into concrete classroom actions and measurable improvement in students' learning? That is the objective for today. There are several success criteria that I've put here. I want you to be able to know the difference between COPs and traditional professional development. I want you to be able to describe aspects of teaching practice. How do you link improved teaching practice with measurable gains in student learning? I want you to understand the impact A lot of people say, okay, how do you measure impact of COP? All of those things we'll be looking at today. There are many, many benefits of communities of practice, but I have just a few minutes left. Thank you, Mr. John, for using all my time, and Ms. Ekpayong. So
Sorry.
I'm just going to zero in on a few. Knowledge sharing. Again, everything I'm saying, if you had listened carefully to Mr. John, you would see that we're saying the same thing. Knowledge sharing. Nowadays, we talk about communities. Everybody is on several platforms on WhatsApp. Everybody's building. Because you see, with AI, technology, and all that, it's not really so much about the content anymore. It's really more about coming together as a community. You are learning together from each other's lived experience. You are sharing experiences. You are learning from each other, real life, not just content that you can copy from ChatGPT. So it's about knowledge sharing. You are building this strong sense of community. AfriTeach, TTN, that's what we do. When you're a member, right now in AfriTeach, we're over 1,000. In TTN, we're over, because TTN and AfriTeach, we also come together. TTN focuses a lot on Nigeria. AfriTeach is across Africa. You should be a part of the two. So you are sharing knowledge with like-minded people. You are sharing insight, expertise, resources. Very important. That's why we do communities of practice. Strong professional relationships. Now, trust. Who can you trust? How can you, people who understand what you are going through? A lot of the time when John was talking, I'm sure for some of you are thinking, yes, I've gone through that before. If you were talking to someone who wasn't a teacher, they're not really getting it. You hear people say, what do teachers want? After all, they go on holidays, they do this, they don't even work in August, and they get paid because they don't understand. But when you have this strong professional relationship that is built through communities of practice, it makes your work, you're more effective, you feel supported, adaptation to local context. COPs will help you, whatever is happening in Rwanda, in Kenya, in Nigeria, whatever is happening in the public school, the private school, in rural schools, COPs will help you adapt to that particular challenge. It's not generic in nature. The best thing about COPs is the fact that it's action-based. When you learn, you put it into action in your classroom, and before you know it, you see the change. Enhanced professional development, continuous, ongoing, emotional support. The problem you have will be solved because you meet with your team. Innovation and experimentation. It gives you ability to learn something, you experiment in your class, you feedback, you refine your practices. There's nothing to hate about COPs. In fact, there's everything to love about it. Number 11 here is what makes me, happiest: leadership development. A lot of my leaders today, how did I discover them? Through communities of practice. Because through communities of practice, you are learning leadership skills. What we'll say foundational leadership skills. You're learning problem solving. You're learning decision making. You're learning to negotiate. You're learning emotional intelligence. You're learning so much because in those small groups, it's a microcosm of what you do in your schools. So many advantages to the teacher. How about to the student? Targeted solutions of the problem of your child, vulnerable children in the classroom. It could be regarding classroom management, literacy gap, underachievement, problems that you might never seen addressed during the training you address during COPs. Shared standards. This is one way that we made sure that our teachers across our schools, they're all top notch. You don't want it to be, I don't want my child in class 2A. I don't want my child in year 8B. No, because by the time you have gone through COPs, all the teachers are good because they are meeting and they are part of this community of practice. So many benefits: cross-school, cross-nation, cross-continent benefits, collaboration, resource sharing. There's a repository. You're able to get resources and all that. I'm pushed for time, improved instruction, scalability. There is no other way to scale. When you employ new teachers, when you have established COPs in your school, guess what? Before you know it, they're like the veteran teachers because they join in those communities and they're learning. Now, workshops and COPs. We just had a workshop. Mr. John made it amazing, very relatable, but still one of these traditional PDs. Most of the time, a workshop will usually be one-off. When I say one-off, we might have many workshops, but at the end of the day, it's still not coherent. We might decide next week that we're going to have another training, but maybe it's on assessment for learning. So usually there's really no cohesion. It's just this, and then there's another thing, and you still have to learn. You're still very important, but then that building on knowledge, line upon line, precept upon precept, most of the time is missing during even our insets in school. We just do this today, next week you're looking at that. But usually, traditional PD, you would find that they're top down. The school or your head might say, you know what, we are looking at differentiation because the school improvement plan is one of the things we want to do. Usually it's top down. It's not the teachers themselves, bottom up, saying, this is what I'm struggling with in my class. My boys do not like to read. There's, the boys are underachieving in my class. Now, COPs give you the advantage to decide on what the problem is in your class or in your group or in your set, and you're deciding that this is what we want to focus on in this year group. Most of the time it's passive. Right now you're listening to me. It's passive. It's generic, limited follow-up, less adaptable. COPs, on the other hand, it's ongoing. When you finish looking at a particular topic, you go on to another one, and you go on with it for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It brings change of practice. There's active learning for you as a teacher. It's context specific because you're looking at something to do with your real-time issues. Evidence-based, innovative, highly adaptable. I must emphasize, they are complementary. You can't say, oh yeah, thank God, no more workshops, no more training. No, it is garbage in, garbage out. If you never go for trainings and learn from the experts, when you get into your COP groups, what are you going to do? What do you have to discuss? What are you going to suggest? Nothing. Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't take anything in, you cannot give anything out. So I like to say they are complementary. You don't replace them. Now, we are classroom practitioners and we're school leaders. How do COPs actually change teaching practice? Remember, that was my issue. How do we learn and then we can take it into our classrooms? It changes our practice and thereby improves students' learning. So I want us to do this very quick activity. I would like each of you to go into the chat, type just for a minute. I don't like just, I want you to take your time. Think of just one current challenge you are experiencing in your classroom or in your school. What is a challenge that you're experiencing as we speak? I go to the chat. What is one challenge you are going through? Send. Thank you. Yes, yeah. Special educational needs and disabilities is inattentiveness, time, behavioral issues. Good. It's coming in. A child with ADHD, distractions, time management, lesson plan issues, limited space. Awesome. Noise, indiscipline, internet connectivity, disruptive students. Can you see a lot of us? Good. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. What are you going through right now? Yeah, disruptive behavior. Finishing scheme for the term. Amazing. Thank you for your candor, for your honesty. We are struggling with some issues. Teacher retention, separation anxiety, phobia for math. large number of students in the classroom. When Mr. John said 25 children or thereabout, I thought, really? There's some school with 80 and 100 in our public schools. Low attention span. Awesome, awesome, beautiful. Thank you all so much for that. What are we noticing? If you look through, you would find that a lot, that's fine. What I am noticing, I don't know if you would notice, a lot of the issues we're noticing, a lot have to do, I've seen a lot to do with classroom management, for example. People are talking about disruption, they're inattentive, time management, and so many things like that. People are talking about assessments, they're talking about send, a lot of issues. But do you know what I hope this has done for you? I hope you've looked at those and thought to yourself, these are common instructional challenges, I'm not the only one struggling with this. Because when we go through issues sometimes we feel it's us. These are, everything we've mentioned is not peculiar to Nigeria. Some people are from Rwanda, from Kenya, from India. We have talked about our challenges, and I'm sure as you looked at those challenges, you saw yourself. So you would find out that most of the time, these issues we go through, they are not uncommon to man, to teachers. We all go through. They are common instructional challenges. My next question is this. Now, I want us to just think for a moment. That particular challenge you put there, somebody said send, somebody said distractions, and all the things you put. For 1 minute, I want you to just imagine if you were to wave a magic wand and those challenges were fixed, they've improved. Tell me what you think will be different in your students and what they are doing. What would they be doing differently during your lesson? Imagine that whatever the issues are have been sorted. Ideal situation. What do you think the children would be doing? I'd like to see what do you think will be happening to you? The children will be more attentive. Thank you. Improved focus, excellent performance. Awesome. Awesome. Smooth learning. Absolutely. Classes will be fun. Improved grades. Honestly, you guys are amazing. And that is, you see, I said, I want to also focus on students' behavior. If things have improved, you would see all those things. Smoother lessons, better quality work, more focus, calmer classroom, and all those things. And guess what will give you that? I said if we were to wave a magic wand that will bring, a change to those challenges, what would you see in the classroom? You guys have told me what you would see in the classroom. And that is what COP does. Communities of practice will grant you the desires of your heart. Imagine it to be that magic wand. The only difference is it's not magical. It is strategy. And I wanted us to focus on the end game, which is the student. And you did. If you want all those things you mentioned to happen, you must be a part of a community of practice within your school and across schools. That is what we're talking about today. COPs, they are very important because they help to improve specific teaching or learning challenges. All those things you put there, they're specific. And that's why you say, what I'm doing, I want to ground this in the reality of your situation. This is not something on the theory of community of practice. The reality of your situation is what you put there. These are the issues that I'm going through in my school, in my class. Now, when you are part of a community of practice within your school first, charity begins at home. We must have communities of practice within our schools, and then you're also joining across schools. It will improve that specific question, it will improve it. It's ongoing because you guys are meeting regularly over time. It's not a one-off training. It is practice focused. We call it action-based learning. You are getting into your classroom and you are putting the action into practice. You are doing it and you are refining it. We're going to talk about that. It's collaborative in nature. It's evidence informed. We talk about data-driven solutions now, decision making, because you can see in the classroom that the children are now doing this. The classroom is calmer, better quality work. They are learning. You can see it. So that informs, you're observing, you're collecting data. It's observable. And I said, most importantly, students' learning and behavior. There are changes in students' learning and behavior. That is what COPs do. If I've not been able to convince you before, that is what COPs do. Now, what are they not? Not a one-off workshop. It is not a moment for venting. Oh, all the sports children, they're spoiled, they're this. It is not briefing. It is not theory. If not to sit down and start, okay, so let us learn about this. This is the definition. No, it's about doing. It's not something that should be optional in your schools. And it shouldn't be informal to the extent that they are not looking at data, you are not collecting evidence. It should be all the things that we discussed before. Now, I want to say what I put there at the end. If nothing changes in your classroom and you say, oh, we're doing community of practice, it's not one. You are just gisting. You are just having a good time. It's not just about conversation. It must bring change. I have done it. I have used it. It must bring change. My problem was people were training, that wasn't changing their practice. When we applied COPs, it translated their teaching, which brought improvement of learning. Now, so how do we run COPs? Now, let me just take a break. I want to see if we're learning anything. Let me see in the chat. Are you getting me? Do you understand so far? I want to see in the chat. Yes. Yeah. Can I say, do you understand what I'm talking about? Beautiful. Yes. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Right on. So, what I have before you is a very simplified COP cycle. Because if I were to do a full training on COP, but we said 2 for the price of 1 or for no price at all. So that's what we're doing today. So I've given you a most simplified COP cycle. How do you do COPs? 4 things, 4 that must be part of it. You identify a learning problem, as we've talked about. Assessment for learning, differentiation, an issue with inclusion in my class, SEND issues. You identify boys not reading, girls underachieving because now they are conscious of themselves. Whatever the issue is, you must identify a problem. You remember there will be a group. Very small groups, usually about 5 to 8 people in each group. Identify a learning problem. Then, in those small groups, you are going to agree on strategy. 1 strategy. You will discuss a lot, but after your session and you have deliberated on the particular learning problem, don't go and fix 10 at a time. Agree on 1 strategy that you are going to put into practice in your classroom. You begin to try it out. Remember, innovation and experimentation. 1. And thereafter, what do? You continue to review the evidence and to refine. How simple is that? Identify a learning problem. Choose 1 strategy out of all the strategies. It's your problem. When the people have talked, you've discussed and everything, they've asked you questions, you've discussed, you choose 1. You tell them what that 1 thing that you want to, incorporate into your teaching is. You try it out in the classroom and you review evidence and refine. So each time you meet, you will give them a feedback. This is how it's changing. This is what I saw. In fact, when we were trying it, this is another problem that reared its head. Can you see how beautiful that is? We always forget that we are practitioners when we're action practitioners. We don't have to wait for the university professors to give you a formal training that you are cramming. You are actually a practitioner, you're a researcher, you're an action researcher. That is what it should be. You put it into practice. So 4, all of us should be able to say it by heart. 1, the first thing you do is what? Identify a learning problem. The second thing you do is what? I forgot. Agree on one strategy. What then do you do? Try it in your classroom. What then do you do? Collect the evidence. You continue to review and refine. That is it. So as we begin to round up, I want us to just have a quick live simulation. Of course, we are like 500 or something here. So we're just going to, but you can also see that it still can be done, no matter what the challenges are. Within a school, across schools, like you said, you can do it. And I'm just going to base my simulation on the topic that we've looked at already, classroom management. So are we good to go? Now, the first question I'm going to ask you is this. Which classroom management challenges, particularly, Mr. John told you about 5 areas we should manage in our classroom: managing time, managing yourself, managing students' behavior, managing resources, and managing the environment. Now, I have zeroed in on students' behavior. For me, it's all about the students, right? So I want you to put in the chat right now. We have looked at classroom management. I will also see if you even learned anything from what Mr. John has taught. I want you to put in the chat which classroom management challenges, particularly around student behavior, are limiting effective teaching and students' learning in your classroom. I'm going to go to the chat, answer the question. We're simulating a COP. So by the time, you remember, one of our the objective is to be able to do it on Monday. This is what I want you to answer. Which classroom management challenges surrounding students' behavior do you believe are limiting effective teaching in your classroom right now? Let me see. Distraction, thank you, Oge, among the learners themselves. Managing self, not being attentive during student, walking around arbitrarily, noise making, not showing interest in academics, chatting learners, restlessness, noise making, disruptive behavior, self-distraction. They distract themselves, absent-mindedness. You are teaching them and they've gone. Boredom, they look bored. Distractions. All beautiful. These are some challenges around students' behavior that you know are limiting effective teaching, of course, and affecting students' learning. Second question, as we're simulating a COP. Now, name one strategy teachers could try consistently for 2 weeks. Remember, it's a continuous thing. Now, when you have this COP session going on, it could go on for 8 weeks. You're going to use a strategy, you refine it, you come back like that until the issue is sorted. Now, in the chat, based on classroom management, based on what Mr. John has taught us, one strategy you would try on Monday. Those of you that say they're distracting themselves, overstimulation, what can you do? Put the strategies that you know. Pull out the leader of the gang. Entry, good. 2-minute rule. Reward for good behavior. Wow. Respect. Beautiful. The 1-minute rule. A lot of you mentioned that before. Consistent praise language. What a smart class. Getting them involved. Reward. Ground rules. Keep it going. Storytelling strategy. Active listening. Managing self. When I manage myself, I can manage you. Nemo dat quod non habet. You cannot give what you do not have. Short breaks. Engaging students. Classroom management. Active listening, beautiful, aside, lovely, maintaining eye contact. smart class. Beautiful, lovely. We talked about the problem. We have identified many strategies that we can use, and you have chosen one that you are going to use. Now, my next question is, how do you collect evidence that, okay, I've said I'm going to use the 1 minute or 2 minute rule. I'm going to use that. How do you collect evidence that that strategy is working? Tell me what you hope to see to know that that strategy. Without collecting evidence, you are not doing communities or practice. What evidence will show you that that strategy is working? Storytelling, that calm students, interest in learning, beautiful, giving out tasks. Now you are reviewing. I want to see the evidence that the children, what are the children doing to show you? Learner involvement, active learning, beautiful noise mitigation, concentration in class, smiles, emotional awareness. Awesome. I feel so happy. You are getting it. Lovely. Interactive classrooms, full concentration. Awesome. You would see, like I put up pictures there, more involvement, they're engaged. Active learning is going on, the smiles on their faces, a calm classroom. There are many things that we would see, that you would see that this thing is working, which means you must track it. If you're a school owner or a school leader, you also, because it's school-based, you must collect the evidence. And when you go for lesson observations or you do your work, you know, your what do it, you know, just going around the classroom and checking. We call it management by walking about sometimes, you know, and your learning works. These are evidences you are going to be looking for. Evidence must be collected. Now, teachers, educators, school leaders, do you know what just happened? Do you know what just happened? That was COP in action. How easy is that? That was COP in action. Why are we not doing this? Can you see how simple it is and how useful it is? Because you are putting those things into action in your classrooms. You are collecting evidence. It is bringing about change. Remember my problem at the beginning? People were learning, but was not translating into their practice, and students' learning weren't being improved. But once you use that cycle, that's a very simplified cycle. Once you use it, identify a problem. Choose one strategy out of a lot of strategies. Collect evidence. Try it in the classroom. Collect evidence. And at the end of the day, you continue to review on its over. Now, I'll say for school owners, school leaders here, if you do not make it part of maybe your appraisals and, you know, when you give feedback to teachers, and make it something that's very important in your schools, it will not happen. It is actually the discipline cycle. This cycle must happen regularly, consistently. That is the secret. That is what makes COP. That is what makes whatever we've been doing before not COP. Just conversations and gisting and gossiping. You would find out that if you've done a good COP, you'll find out that changes in the teaching practice of your teachers. Now, as a teacher, guess what? Before you started applying classroom management, behavior rules were unclear, inconsistent. The child that you like, you'll be a bit soft with that. The one that you are thinking, the Richards of the classroom, you come down very strict on the person. You have a disciplinary policy, but you don't use it. You just, you know, we have arbitrary. Most of the time, it's verbal correction, verbal correction. You are reactive. We talked about that, not proactive. You are not prepared for the children that you already know in your classrooms. After you have started applying COPs, guess what happens? Clear expectations. They are taught. Children will be part of the rules of the classrooms. They are clear about the expectations. You continue to reference those expectations. There's consistency in your routines, in your responses. It's not determined by your mood on that day. Your husband offended you, all of them are in trouble. Or your wife did something, they're in hell on that day. Teachers respond proactively. This change is brought about because of what? You're being a part of communities of practice. What changes would you see in students? What do you think? What do you think a change could be for students? Because of time, I'm just going to, you find out if we've used classroom management or these classroom management issues, challenges around classroom management, especially students' behavior. If you have done it, you will find out there's some changes. Calm classroom. There's safety, because psychological safety. There is also physical safety. We talk about safeguarding our child protection a lot, as we learned earlier. When a classroom is well managed, there will be safety. Psychological safety, physical safety. The classroom is calm. There's respect. There's confidence, better quality work. That you would find these changes in your students. And there's so many others. I don't have time. We would have filled that. As I round up, finally. So why do COPs work? Why am I so passionate about COPs? Because COPs anchor learning to your real life issues in the classroom. You know where the shoe is pinching in your own class regarding that particular cohort. It's not the same. You can have a fantastic cohort, and then the next time you have so many children with needs and you have issues. COPs will help you to deal with your reality in the classroom. COP will help you bring improvement. You're using strategies that would help improve those challenges, and you're doing what? Collecting evidence that would guide your decision. Am I to adapt? We talked about adaptability and being flexible. Do I adapt these things that I normally do? How do I make sure that no child is left behind? How do I know Shola, who is, on the spectrum, is not left behind? COPs will help you not only to apply the improvement strategies, to collect evidence. You're able to turn your reflection, because whatever you see, because when you're going to feed back to the rest of the group, you have to reflect. What worked? That's reflection. What did not work? That's reflection. And when you get to your team the following 2 weeks or whatever, and you are discussing, you have reflected. And that reflection is what you're turning into action. You're able to build, collective responsibility. Can you see all of you are working together as a team? Because if the COP is around your section, maybe early primary, the junior primary classes, or the senior primary classes, or key stage 3 or key stage 4, maybe, or it could be across subjects in secondary school, maybe, or departments. It's a collective thing. Remember, community, collaboration, coming together. Two heads are better. The days of one all-knowing God is gone. You are coming together, taking collective responsibility for change in your section, in the school. You're able to scale effective behavior practices. That is the beautiful thing. You can scale. Now, as we round up, finally, how do you measure impact? A lot of people ask me about that. How do you measure impact? So teachers, I don't want you to be scared. Here we go. Measuring impact. They're going to be micromanaging us again. They're going to be, no. When we're talking about measuring impact, it's actually not about inspection. It's not about the heads micromanaging. The point is that, how do you know it's working? If we're talking about classroom management and we are not measuring if there's any change in the behavior, you are wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And that is why it is very important that we know how to manage impact. We must track progress. When we're tracking progress is usually in 3 areas with COPs. You track progress with the teaching practice. You remember, the teacher brought some improvement, brought some strategies to improve the challenge. It has to be tracked. You are tracking, the school is tracking. What behavior strategy did you use? Was it the 2-minute rule that worked? Was it just, listening, better listening that worked? Was it the better use of resources? Maybe the human resource in your class. You have an assistant who before now you were not really making use of the presence of another human in the class. What worked? Data, evidence. That's how we track if COPs are working. Now, you're tracking from the point of view of the teacher practice that changed. You are tracking the students' behavior and engagement. What was the result of it? Better quality work, concentration, student engagement. They're taking ownership of their learning. You must track. You must measure it. Then, professional culture and consistency is part of what you must monitor. Are teachers now working together as a group? Are they now learning from each other, or is it still competition? I like to emphasize something, that don't think that you can run a very competitive system and still hope to run communities of practice. So far, you're still doing best teacher of the year, best whatever. Nobody's going to how do they come together and then, help each other and support each other? Because I want the award. So we can give awards still, but it must be around communities of practice that worked, communities that brought solutions, communities where students' learning improved. So we must track that the professional culture is changing and is consistent and they are meeting. You must track teaching practice, student behavior, professional. This is how we measure. Again, that is why I said people say they do COPs. It is not true. They were not measuring. They were not collecting evidence. They were not even meeting regularly. Strong COPs must track these 3 areas term by term. At the beginning, I said, if you do this by the end of this 2nd term, you will see differences in your school. You will see improvement. There's a simple rubric. We don't have time, but it's here. You can take pictures of it. This is a simple rubric that you can use to measure. Under teaching practice, these are the things to look at. Under students' learning and behavior, progress over time, you are looking at those. Under professional culture, these are, so you can devise a simple rubric to use, especially school leaders, teachers also. You need to be able to measure impact and track impact. Leadership value. Leaders, I want to speak to you now. School owners, leaders here. How did I get so much into COPs? Because it's actually a school improvement strategy. When you apply COPs in your school will improve because no teacher is left behind. When you employ new teachers, because they're part of communities of practice, before you know it, they're learning from the expert teachers in school. They're part of those teams. They're learning. You don't have to tear your hair out trying to make sure that this new teacher is as good as the old one. They're part of the communities of practice. There's a lot of mentorship that goes on within communities of practice. So it's a school improvement strategy. It is a way to develop the professionalism of your teachers. Exciting for me is a leadership pipeline. A lot of my leaders today, I discovered them during communities of practice because they're learning foundational leadership skills in those groups. It's a leadership pipeline. For leaders, if you ever want to scale COPs, continue to focus on, have a clear focus on behavior. For example, we're talking about classroom management. Protect collaboration time. Don't put so many activities that the teachers cannot come together to meet because they have to do this. You must prioritize it. If you don't prioritize it, it will not happen. Create a psychologically safe, environment for your staff, where sometimes the questions will question. The challenges they have will question what you do in your school. It's happened before in Meadowhall. I remember there was a time that we were saying that there was just too much time being given to exams and tests and things like that. It came from a community of practice. And based on that particular group, we were able to adjust things. And so second term became more of project-based learning, more of using their continuous assessment so we could give more time to teaching. If you're like that, how dare you question what we do? I will not feel psychologically safe. We would not look at the real issues. So create an environment where I feel safe psychologically as a teacher. Make sure real evidence is being collected, and it's not about control, it's about support. So that is about communities of practice. I'll come back to that. It's about improving practice. Can I see in the chat? Improving practice. One keyword is there. Improving practice together. I want you to put it in the chat. COP is about improving practice together. Oops, what did I do? It's about improving practice together. It's not you alone looking at things. So I don't have time for this now, but you can take a picture. This is how they run, because there's really a way COPs run. When we get into those classes, into our groups, there's a way we run. There's no time for this, but you meet, there's collaborative activities, you do peer observations, there's professional development that will be added, workshops that will still be added, so you're learning as you are giving out, there's support, there's mentorship, there's resource sharing, reflective practice, again, community. And I round up with this, AfriTeach and TTN. This is why we set up AfriTeach. Right now, as I said, we have 2 professional learning communities. That is a community of practice. Professional learning communities are communities of practice. We have set up, we have 2 different, because we're over 1,000 right now. Again, if you've not joined, you're on your own. Sorry for you. Through our platforms, you will access virtual, that we all keep connected. So there's connectivity, there's information sharing. You can ask questions. You can say, what do I do in my class with this issue? You would find a colleague that will say, this is what I've done before. Can you imagine that access? You are in Rwanda and you are wondering, what do you do in your class when you're trying to differentiate? What do you do with your SEND children? What does your quality first teaching look like? How do you really assess for learning? How do you make sure your feedback is effective? What style of questioning do you use? That is the access you have, over 1,000. And by the time we're done, every teacher in Nigeria eventually will take it, and we're going to then break into regions and all that later on. Every teacher should be there. What more would you want? Apart from that, there's access to quarterly trainings by experts, like what we've had today. I've trained you on COPs. John has trained you on community of practice. We take each concept, everything that you need, instructional concepts, we take everything and we teach. Everything from planning, every aspect of teaching, we will look at. there's access to AfriTeach's robust repository. On AfriTeach's platform website, we have a repository where you can get resources, and of course, mentorship. The more experienced teachers will always be there to train the less. We can actually assign mentors to people. And of course, we hold annual conferences. We have one coming up in May, 2nd of May. It's going to be hybrid. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a conference. And those in Nigeria, we're going to get together from time to time for socializing. That is what COPs are about. And I say thank you for listening. I will take any question that we have. I'm going to stop sharing. Anybody has any questions? Is there still any doubt about the efficacy and effectiveness of communities of practice? How can you join AfriTeach? That should be the only question we're seeing right now. Can we put in the chat, Abayomi, how can they join AfriTeach? That should be the main question. That's good. Very good. You didn't say the rubrics. Okay, we will put it on the AfriTeach's platform. Join so you can have access to it. Becoming a recognized member. Yes. So Ms. Ekpang mentioned it, but right now we're going to start our trainings, right? You know, we're already part of a community of practice. If you're a part of AfriTeach right now, the WhatsApp, you're already in a community of practice, a continent-wide community of practice. Now we are then going to go into the next. We're going to start our institute where you can add training. Remember, COPs must be complemented with trainings. Now, that's what the institute is going to do. We're going to bring expert trainings, top-notch trainings like we've had today, you know, to you. Then we're going to then have associate members. It's just like ICANN. That's what we're going, or whatever these other bodies are in other countries, where you become an associate member of AfriTeach. It will give you access to so many other benefits, discounts here, you know, partnerships there, different levels of benefits. From associate members, you can become certified members. Then you're an expert. You are a thought leader, you know. And as associate members, certified members, you will then have the opportunity to be part of to at least apply for a Pan-African fellowship. Our fellowship is fully sponsored, but by the time you are done with that fellowship, anywhere in the world, you become the ministers of education, because what we're doing is to prepare you for the most senior level of leadership in education in your country. That's what AfriTeach will be. And we're going to have school accreditations as well. We're going to come to your schools like we would with COBIS or OEQA. We will come to give accreditations to your school so that we can maintain the quality. So I'm so proud to be a co-founder of AfriTeach and to be the CEO of AfriTeach. So join. All the questions, unfortunately, we're so sorry we couldn't answer most of the questions today, but on that platform, so join so you can get the answers. You will be able to see all the answers to the questions. I hand over to you, whoever is taking over from me. Is that Samuel, Ms. Okewo? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wani. Thank you so much. That's just amazing, as usual. Thank you, Dr. Wani. I know we've been clapping in the chat room. Let it keep coming because I can't get over this. Thank you, Dr. Wani. It's been amazing. And again, I'm going to say to you, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting to be a part of AfriTeach community? What are you waiting for? That's why I'm here today, to let you know that you have to be a part of this community, not just be an active part of the community. So let's start with our Instagram handle. Mr. Bayomi, could you kindly post our link, the link to our Instagram handle? I'm looking at the handle now and we're just 296. I have a target of reaching 500 today. And I'm looking at the number of participants right now. We have 466. What's it going to take for you to be a part of our Instagram handle? Can you please click and be a part of that community? I'm looking, oh God, we have 296 and it's moving. Mr. Bayomi, have you posted the link, please? Kindly post the link. Thank you. I can see the link there. Please go to the chat room. Thank you, Mr. Bayomi. I can see it. Please go to the chat room. I have a target of 500 today, and I can see that we haven't moved from 296 yet. So please start clicking. Be a part of this community. Don't miss out. Don't start asking people what's happening in AfriTeach. Be the person to share what's happening in AfriTeach. Be a part of the community where Dr. Wani has said it all. You have a challenge of posting on there. People are mentoring you, teachers that have 20 years experience, 30 years experience. They are telling you what they have done. They're telling you what they are doing. They're giving you posted there. You're confused there and we'll come together to answer your questions. So I'm waiting. Oh my God, we've moved on to 339. You guys are awesome. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. This is amazing. Join our, I'm going to talk about a WhatsApp group. And at that point, Mr. Bayomi will also drop the link. That's the first place to start once you want to start being a part of our community. So yes, 339. I have a target of 500. So please, let's keep following. Let's keep following so these numbers keep increasing. We are on 353. I must say that you're amazing. We have 454 people on this platform. Please join the Instagram handle now. Join our Instagram handle now. We are coming of 358. Wow. Let's have that, keep joining our Instagram handle. Mr. Bayomi, could you please post the link to our WhatsApp group and Telegram group? So 365. Wow, wow. I hope we're able to meet 500 today. Please keep joining. Keep joining. Oh my God, 375. I'm so happy right now. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Let's make it, let's make it to our Instagram handle. 380. Wow, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Join our WhatsApp group and Telegram handle. Mr. Bayomi has posted it in the chat room. You have to be heard. If you want to be heard, you have concerns about certain policies, certain activities going on, please post it on the WhatsApp group. Like minds will be there. We'll share our thoughts. We'll form a formidable group that can be heard, listened to. So please be a part of our community, be a part of our WhatsApp group, our Telegram handle, channel, our Instagram handle. And on Instagram, we're 389. I'm so happy. I'm hoping we'll get to 500. That's my target. Can you please drop our LinkedIn? I love Facebook in particular. I know that teachers, we're quite a number on Facebook. Join our Facebook community as well. Don't miss out on anything. Be a part of this group. Be a part of this amazing community. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. On Instagram, we're now 392. Oh my God, just 8 to get to 400 and 100 more to get to 500. I'm hoping that we'll meet this number at the end of this session today. Thank you. Our Facebook link is on. Our Instagram link is on. Our WhatsApp group link and Telegram link are all in the chat room. Please start joining. Oh my God, we're 395 on Instagram. I'm so excited.
Almost there.
Joining. You can't afford to. We're almost there. We can't afford not. Oh my God, 402. You guys are just amazing. So we can't afford to miss being a part of this exciting, innovative community where we can share our mentor. You can't afford not to be a part of it.
Okay,
at this point, I'll have to leave. We have over 400 now. Please keep joining Instagram handle.
Okay, we need to leave, Mr.
Facebook. Oh my God. Yes, Dr. Wani.
I said, let's hurry up. We need to leave. We need to round up because
yes. Well, I'm actually done now, Dr. Wani. Thank you so much. You are all amazing. 419 on Instagram. Well done. Thank you, Mr. Bayomi. Out now.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's session. A special thanks goes to our co-founder and CEO, Dr. Kende Wani, who also graced us with her presence today, not just as our CEO, but as our facilitator. And then also to Mr. John Ofesua, thank you so much for joining. We are rounding up in the next 1 minute. Dr. Wani has already mentioned that we have upcoming programs. And of course, we are going to be having our institute calling for applications very soon to start applying to join, any of our courses as advertised. And of course, we're going to be having our conference in May. So get ready, keep looking out on our different social media platforms, and just keep your eyes open to see the links to join, of course, to be a part of what we're going to be doing in May 2026. So from everyone here at AfriTeach, we want to say thank you to our YouTube audience, our Zoom audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We hope to see you in the next session that we're going to be having. Of course, we have a monthly session coming up, something for you, something very special for you in February. But thank you once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Kende Wani, our facilitators, and everyone for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to keep joining our different platforms. And of course, you can drop your questions. We will surely get back to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Someone has the Florence has her hand up. Is there a question, Florence, or that's a legacy hand?
Okay.
All right. Maybe she just put it up and she's just waving to us.
Okay, she has dropped it now.
All right. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bye. Bye. Go out and shine.
Bye,
It's going to be an amazing session. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you for your
Bye, everybody.
service. Thank you for your kind comments, everyone.